Welcome to our live session on unleashing leadership potential and improving your communication skills. If you've joined us live, get ready to dive deep into the insights and foundations of leadership and communication skills. And we will be joined by an esteemed guest, Lakshmi Priya, who's from USA, and she herself is Leadership Mastery in Action. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, Dr. Ronak. Thanks for joining. I'm going to add Lakshmi Priya. Right, okay. Give us, yes, she's requested to join, accept, go live. Hello, ma'am, can you see me? Hello.
Hi.
Hello, ma'am. Thanks a lot for joining us. I was just introducing a little bit about you and what this session is going to be about. I'll introduce your career journey and background a little bit to our audiences. Thanks a lot for joining us. Lakshmi Priya ma'am, she is an electrical engineer by background. She has MBA in human resources. She has completed her MSc in psychology, diploma in early childhood education, and she has certification in Indian knowledge systems. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. It's truly an honor to have such a knowledgeable and an expert full of wisdom to guide us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for welcoming me, ma'am. Greetings to you all who is in this live session.
Thank you so much. Ma'am, just curious about, I've looked at your career history, I've looked at your background, and I can see that you've been in various leadership positions and roles. Can you give us a flavor of your journey and what it was like?
Yes. So when I started my career, I started as a software engineer in Zoho. So that was my first step of the career journey. So it is completely in the software, where I started as a member technical staff and slowly started leading the teams in it. Then I moved to another software company where I became a team leader. While I was doing this, I had a lot of thirst towards human potential, and I found my interest is more towards dealing with humans than with the machines. So slowly I started moving from there on. And in one foundation, I joined as a project manager. So there it has been a given task like there is not such things exist in the internet, and you have to come up with a very new ideas. I got so much fascinated with that, and I did lot of researches, and that way I started with. Then slowly I increased my roles over there, and I become the CIO of that organization, and I was there for a while. Then due to marriages and shifting of the places, slowly I moved to different roles here and there. Then many leadership positions were on my way, and I was able to occupy that. And provide the best fit for those organizations also. And right now I'm a co-founder of Self to Self company, and I'm also leading a community called Take Your Flight, where I'm leading people of different calibers in a different stream. Like for youths and teens, I'm having a group called Unstoppable Together. And for women empowerment, I'm leading a group of Wonder of Women's. So
Wow.
all these roles actually gave me the flavor of leadership and the new perspective of what a leadership could be and how a leader has to emerge from their potential and everything. So it's all through the insight experience I had in most of
Wow.
these fields.
Amazing. Truly inspiring, ma'am. I think
Yeah.
if somebody is, people who are watching us or who are going to watch us as a replay, I think this is a truly inspiring background and position to be in, to be able to lead on so many different levels of platforms. Yeah. From childhood to motherhood to women to leading a multinational company. Amazing. Well done. And just a little bit curious about leadership skill now, okay? Because we're going to talk about leadership. If you can tell our audience today, is leadership something that people are born with, or is that something that they can develop?
Yes. So this both things actually, this has been a paradigm shift for many people also. Earlier when we started to explore, do I really have that quality or not? Or should I develop it or not? Will it come for me or not? So we
Mm-hmm.
have lot of things, right? But if you are able to see in your internal journey, the answer is yes for both actually.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone has the potential. For example, a seed has a potential to grow. provided you're putting and seeding it in a right environment, it is properly watered and everything, and with Bhagwan's grace, it actually grows up. Similarly, everyone have a leadership potential in our own cells. For
Yes.
example, our brain take the lead of many organs in it, right? So that quality is in some of the cells of your body already. So
Yeah.
whichever thing is exercised and wherever our awareness is put for a longer period of time, that naturally grows in an individual. So, with the right practice and with the right awareness, when again and again the same things are provoked in an individual right from the childhood or at any period of the age, even if one decides to bring the leadership quality in them at the age of 80 or 90 also, yes, it is very much possible because you already have the potential inside you. Only the growth should happen. For the growth to happen, what you have to do is you have to nurture it in a right environment and in the right actions and right intent.
Perfect.
So at any point of time, when one decides to grow that particular nature in them, it can be done. So when you see through multiple angles, both points are true in nature. But everyone are born with that skill. And one who
Perfect.
gives the right environment for that to grow makes that happen. So the more
Well,
and more it happens in you, you become more effective in something. Again, when every one of us have done cooking for the first time, definitely we would have make a very mockery session out of it, right?
yes.
Among our family members and everyone. But
Yeah.
now guest of 40, 50 people also is like very easy for us. Why? Because we have been doing that for a period of time.
Yes.
Similarly, the same thing also leadership. When you take for the first time and when you really pay attention to everything, the skill naturally starts sprouting in you and it grows in you. So it
Wow.
takes
Well said,
you to
ma'am.
the next level.
Well said. Well said. So, what have we got from this answer? Everybody has leadership potential. Okay. All we need is the right environment and right places to where you can flourish. Okay. That's exactly what ma'am was alluding to. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we've talked about the skill, how it can be developed. Can you give our audience some strategies to build their leadership skills? How can one start doing that? If you can give us a couple of or three, four, 5 points people can remember. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. So when it comes to the leadership quality, this quality is one such nice quality which has to be developed right from the childhood.
Mm-hmm.
That's why schools provide an opportunity of having scouts leader, group leaders, in through the games, class leaders, monitors, like project leaders, like that. They try to insist this quality naturally among the kids in a very fun and loving environment also in the schools.
Mm-hmm.
Then, when you're seeing little bit more deep, who is actually a leader? A leader is not only a person who could lead the entire team, because everyone does not follow anyone blindly, right?
Mm-hmm.
They also look for certain things to do. So,
Mm-hmm.
what should a leader first do is they should be able to gain the confidence and the obedience or a cooperation from the fellow team people. So, if they are able to do that, any crowd that resonate with them will be naturally with them. So,
Yeah.
they have to naturally bring the confidence with the team members or to cooperate with the team members means first thing they have to work with on is the levels of the people. Means everyone does not connect on the same level for
Mm-hmm.
everyone. Some are emotionally connected, some are intellectually connected, some needs always instructions, the communication perspective, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So to vibrate with different levels of people, you should first know in yourself where you stand. What is
Mm-hmm.
your strength? What is your weakness? Which one needs is your gray area and everything. Sometimes we know that yes, I have a fear in talking in the crowd. Then
Mm-hmm.
how will you communicate? So like that, each and every aspect of yours, when it is perfectly worked, when your sense of self is perfectly worked, you can easily communicate with the other people also. And in leadership it is very important. A leader than by an instruction, if he is by an example, he can easily make the whole team to work with him in a very synchronous way. So it is should be naturally like one mind in many body.
Yes.
If a
Wow.
person is able to easily reflect the thoughts or the mind or the intent of what the leader is, then many people they start following somebody not for their physical body or not for what they speak or something. It is mostly for their intention, what goal they are attached to, towards what they are progressing in their life and everything. So if a person is able to take care of that particular part, you need not go and talk to every follower that, okay, I am going to do this. Can you? No. You sit and do in your place what you want, and the whole light is towards you.
Perfect. Well done, ma'am. Wow. Wow. That was truly inspiring. So, what ma'am has just, I'll summarize what you
Yeah.
said. Number one is your confidence and cooperation from people. That is very important if somebody wants to lead. Okay. If you want to be a leader, have that confidence from your followers. Number two is connecting with different people at different levels. Okay. If you have that ability, amazing, you can start building with people at all levels. Okay. And number three, you said you have right intentions. Okay. When you're leading something, and people will automatically
Yeah.
follow you. That is very beautifully explained. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot for that. Now, we are going to touch on communication a little bit, because a leader has to be an effective communicator. Yeah. So, can you give us some strategies about how somebody can improve their communication skills, and how to identify, or how to identify their preference? So, where,
Yes.
like your starting point and where you want to be, basically, the journey of communication skills.
When I was doing my education in engineering, I attended a seminar where they allowed us to make a role play of certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Then we also engaged in some kind of activities. So in that, the first person is allowed to say something to the second person, and they have to act and show. So it
Mm-hmm.
was following like for 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
But we are not supposed to say to the third person what the sentence we got. Only
Okay.
through acting it has to be communicated to the whole crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So the others were allowed to do the witness of it. When that exercise was done, actually, I felt that was a changing moment for me in the communication skills,
Mm-hmm.
actually. I felt that how much the communication gap was happening when that same information was passing to the next person.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the line started with the elephant, but when it ended like a mouse shape,
Okay.
right? Because the other people were not supposed to see. They will be turning back, so only one
Yeah. Yeah.
who could communicate will be able to see and everything. I was
Mm-hmm.
seeing that how much of distortion can happen in a communication also. That day, I started to understand that communication is not that what you say from you.
Mm-hmm.
It is what the people on the other end have perceived from your language.
Yes.
You can use n number of fancy words, or you can use anything to communicate, but at the end of the day, what they understand, it is
Yeah.
also said in a very nice funny way. Means you go to a hotel, you call a waiter and you say that I need a good dosa with a very nice ghee on it, and roast it with a little brown, use only one side, do not make it over like that. You give a big description and you say the waiter go inside and say make a ghee roast, right? So, so it is like that. What you visualize, if you're not able to bring that same scene in the opposite person, then it is a failure.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. I can understand that. Yeah.
yeah. So the communication becomes more effective, or the communicator speech or anything becomes more effective when you're able to bring the essence of your speech in the opposite person's brain or in their thoughts.
Yes.
So what
Yes.
is actually carried out to them makes the result of it. So this is
Thank you,
how
ma'am.
I see the preference should be set that not in am I able to express everything. It should be set in that what is actually received by the end person.
Wow. Wow.
So
Yes.
for that, empathy, sympathy, like that, you can include
Mhm.
many characters and you can develop many skills also for you to really make them understand. The communication is not the same with your boss, with your spouse, and with your daughter.
Exactly.
Everything needs a little bit of heights, ups, and downs, and do your things, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that
So,
is how you want to set the preferences.
yes. And so, if we talk about the corporate world and people who work in multinational companies or big organizations,
Mm.
how can one improve? Which strategy is the most important strategy? We've talked about the perception that people get with effective communication, okay, from an effective communicator. What strategies can you give, like a couple of strategies which people can start implementing straight away?
the best key for most of the communication related problem is listening skill. If you
Okay.
could see, most of us, what would have happened is, for example, you ask me a question. Even before you finish the asking the question, my mind might start preparing an answer for that.
Mm-hmm.
You could have not even completed the question, right? That's what you could see with the kids also, with the boss, with the corporate world. Everyone, you could see the same pattern reflecting in many.
Mm-hmm.
So the best communication, for example, if your boss is giving some instruction or something, you can just wait for a moment and say, as per my understanding, these are the things has to be done. If you are able to spend that 30 seconds extra,
Mm-hmm.
the repetition of the works or any mistakes in the works can be totally avoided.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
just checking whether we both are in the same phase. So like
Yeah.
how you summarize after every questions asked, right? You bring that.
Yes.
So we make sure that we both are in the same phase always. So a best communicator is a person who is a best listener also. If you're able
Yes.
to listen completely, then you will understand that what is the other person's eye speaks.
Yes.
If you're able to read their eyes, then definitely you know that whether they have understood it or not. Is that wow moment glittering in them? Yes,
Yes. Yes.
he got
Yes.
what it is. That's it.
Oh, well done, ma'am. That's yeah. I think when we think about communication skills, people usually think about how I'm talking to
Yeah.
you, and what you just told us was what others perceive from your message. Do they understand what you have said? Is something that you have to paraphrase and ask. Yeah. And
True.
number two was a strategy that you would give our audiences to use is active listening. Yeah. So even before you want to start communicating, people, please listen actively and be empathetic. Show through your body language. As ma'am was just saying, your eyes should reflect what you're trying to say, your energy, and same energy should be passed on to the other person who is receiving your message. And that is going to make you successful. Yeah?
Yeah. I would also like to add one more point to it. If you could see the body language perspective, right? People say that 97 percentage is the words or 93 percentage is the words and 7% is the actions,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know who is the best communicator in the world who does not know our languages? The infant born.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a different tonation in its cry, and it clearly indicates the mother whether it is crying out of pain or out of hungry or some insect have stung them.
Yes.
So we are born as a good communicators.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So, people, we are born with good communication skills. All we need to do is you've got to practice it in an environment and make sure you keep sharpening them. Okay, by active listening.
True.
And I can see, ma'am, we've been joined by a few followers. Shiva has joined, Pearl, Fopal, Namita has joined, and we have How Do You Do as well. Thank you so much for joining us and listening to us. We have nearly come towards the end of our session. But before we go, ma'am, because we are limited with time on Instagram Live, okay, I think if we get more requests from people to know more from you, I think we can always do another YouTube Live or a big YouTube video so that we can share all the insights that we couldn't share today. But how can people get in touch with you, okay, to get this wisdom from you? What are the places that people need to follow?
So they can also follow me in the channel Take Your Flight. They can also do the same Instagram account. Also, I have the Take Your Flight. The reason for having the name as Take Your Flight is I want everyone process to be like very soft and shift and very fast also in this A kind of world, right? So
Yes.
they can be in touch with me through that.
Thank you so much. So, if anyone wants to get in touch with Ma'am Lakshmi Priya Ma'am, please visit their channel, YouTube channel, Take Your Flight, and she has an Instagram profile called Take Your Flight. Okay, or you can reach out to Priya Physio UK on Instagram and Facebook, and you can ask us any questions. And if there was anything that you want to feedback to us, we can always get back to that, and we can create more videos for as per your requests. So thank you so much for joining us, ma'am, and thanks a lot for those who've been with us throughout the interview. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Have a great
Bye.
time.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.
Bye.